Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, you guys, and welcome. Hold on, afternoon. It is afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. 10 o'clock in the morning out here on the West Coast. It is Saturday. Today is the 17th, and I do want to welcome you to today's Visionary Founders Not Quite a Half Hour. We're going to get through here this morning and give you some really good information. Probably be done within the next, 60 minutes, give or take. Again, my name is Joe, and I'm welcoming to the radio show this morning one of the co-founders. We have with us here this morning, Mr. Douglas Wellens. Doug, how you doing today, dude? Come on out here.
Hey, Joe. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you can hear me loud and clearly. I'm in the back cave, and
I can't hear you.
Since you can't hear me, or you can hear me.
Well, obviously I can hear you because I can hear you, dude. How are you, man?
Oh, man.
What's going on?
Thank you. Dude, don't confuse me, man. I have been in the back cave since, very early this morning, banging out a ton of stuff here. But, mainly operational. That's what I do around here for the most part. Some operational stuff. But, yeah, hey, man, I'm doing really good. How about you? What a fantastic week we have just had, okay? Launch of contests, launch of new content, sales funnels, webinars, trainings. It's mind-blowing, Joe. It really is.
It is. It is mind-blowing, and we're going to get into a little bit more of that as we move along this morning through our little checklist here. If I may, just quickly go through some housekeeping, just give people a couple things that they should be aware of this morning, and then we'll get into some discussion. We'll go through each one of these little things that we've added this week, which, it's kind of like it's success by 1,000 little things, itty-bitty things that we keep adding and enhancements that we're adding and little trainings here and new sales funnels there. And before you know it, it is turning into just an amazing, amazing exercise here. As a matter of fact, in the Traffic Academy, section, we do have a really cool email training in there by one of the guys, Darren. He's a guy who writes most of the email for us here at the corporate level. And this guy's legendary in this space, right? And what he has done, as you guys know, is he brought to the table his course, which is a $300 course. Anybody in the world can go buy it for $300. It's a bestseller. People love it. Or it's included for free as a value add in your Traffic Academy subscription. And you know what? I'm on some lists, because I'm out there, I'm looking around, and I'm on a couple of lists. And I've noticed, and when I'm talking about members, our members, every once in a while, I'll just migrate over, I'll look at somebody's link, and I'll just opt in to see what they're doing, right? And there's a young lady, I won't mention her this morning, but she does live in Texas, and she's a huge fan, especially her husband, of the Dallas Cowboys. Her husband happens to be a drummer. Led Zeppelin is his favorite band. You know who I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure that I'm noticing that I'm getting some very unique and different emails from her. And it looks to me as though she is going to school on the Darren course because her emails are captivating. It's different. It's not just a standard autoresponder email. So I throw that out there because so many things are happening. There's so many things being added on, and people are having big-time results because they're doing the simple things, It really is a cool thing. It really is. And I'm looking for Mr. Chambers here. I don't see his number in the queue. I know that Greg is he's been calling in this week. We had a meeting yesterday, and Greg Chambers was actually in the server room where the racks of servers, you can hear the air conditioning, the fans blowing, and, so I know that he's deep in the belly, right? He's way deep in the belly working on programming and working on traffic acquisition. So hopefully he'll be joining us here today. Greg, if you're out there, just press 1 on the keypad of your phone. There is another somebody here who pressed 1. This morning, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep it just to Doug and hopefully Greg when he gets here. If you have questions, if you have comments, bring them on Monday, okay? Bring them on Monday because every Monday through Friday, we do radio leverage. We call this the traffic report. Pretty clever, huh? every day, Monday through Friday. We've been going long, and I want you guys to know you get points. As a matter of fact, 3 points for coming here today because it's one of our weekly shows. So you get 3 points just for listening. And we're going to have a little bonus, okay, on Monday, Doug. I don't know if you received the email that went out maybe 30, 40 minutes ago, inviting people, reminding people about this radio show. At the very bottom, there's like an Easter egg, although it's pretty obvious because I asked people to click here. But we're going to talk about that on Monday. I'm going to the first 3 people who know the name of the guy. Well, I'm not going to go there. Just wait until Monday. Go watch the email, look at the email that you received, and then we'll talk about it on Monday morning. But Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern is when we get together and we actually, we do a little bit of training, and it's really turning out cool. We have people from all over the world who are chiming in and supporting each other and answering questions for each other. I'm just sitting there like the ringmaster at the circus, right? We've got all these people who are jumping up and they're having results and they're making money, and it's a great opportunity for us to learn from each other, and you get a real feel for what the community is. And here's something I'm throwing out there, right? Here's something I'm throwing out there. Show up for the radio show every single day, and sometimes it's 2 hours long. People come and then they listen for a while and then they leave, and they check in so they can get the 3 points because they listen to the show. But one of these individuals the other day, it was actually Kara, said that while she's listening to the radio show, that's when she's sending her swipe files. That's when she's updating her emails. So it's all happening in that same window, right? She's plugged into the community. She's feeling that heartbeat. She's having conversations with people. She's getting questions answered that she didn't even know she had the question because it's so interactive and engaging. And it's playing in the background. As she's listening to her radio show, as she's connected to the community, she's doing the daily activities, the simple things, right? The simple things that will bring you results. Period. End of story. Those simple things come to you every single morning when we send out our daily marketing plan. Now, I know some of you said, oh, yeah, I already read the daily marketing plan. Yeah, well, so what? You read the newspaper every day, don't you? Maybe, maybe not, but go through the daily marketing plan every single day because there's always new things in there. That thing is being updated, so you got to read the fine print. But in there, and you know what, if you read it every day, you go through it every single day, you're going to glean something from it. We call those little nuggets, right? You get a little nugget, something that you didn't necessarily see before. It's just a great place, man. I'm telling you right now, it's where you want to be every single morning. And while you're listening to the radio show, you can do the thing. Do the thing, get the result. I guarantee you, if you do the thing, you're going to get a result. Eventually, it's going to be a money result, a big money result. But what's going to happen is you're going to learn some discipline, and you're going to learn you're going to learn more about the community. You're going to hear some personal development from people like Celeste and Carl and all of these individuals who chime in every single day. Gene in New York and Gary Chappelle and Blue Jay the Trucker in Tennessee. All of these people, Eric in New York City chiming in, right? You'll learn from these people. And you can get the whole thing knocked out within an hour or two. By the end of the radio show, if you're paying attention, you got your points, you've sent your emails, you've sent your invites, and you're like good to go for the rest of the day, and it really feels good. As a matter of fact, one of the great things I learned this last week was from a woman, and she's in New York City, and she was talking about the fact that that she actually, I think her name was Andrea. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was Andrea in New York, who said, you know what? Time is so tough. She's taking the subway. She's in New York City. And she realized that, all she's got to do is just get up a little bit earlier in the morning. She can get up just a little bit earlier in the morning because she was getting anxiety throughout the course of the day because she wasn't completing her tasks, the things that she has to do to get a result. So she said, you know what, I just get up a little bit earlier in the morning and I get that done, like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's how committed she is to her business. So if you show up and you do the thing, I'm guaranteeing you're going to have a result, okay? Isn't that a cool thing that this woman in New York City suggested getting up a little bit earlier? There's a result. You hear from some of these individuals on the radio show, man, they're sharing such unbelievable nuggets. You are going to get a result. It could be a personal development result. You get really good at sending email. The next thing you know, you're driving traffic like a banshee and you're making money every single day. That's really, really cool. So you're listening to the radio show right now, 3 points. Congratulations. If you went to the webinars this week, remember the webinars are worth 5 points. Okay, the webinars are worth 5 points. Now, here's what I'm going to recommend that you guys do. It's Saturday, and tomorrow is Sunday, obviously, and we kind of go light. This is our last live presentation until Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. But why don't you continue to send the replay swipe file? It's like continue to send it. Send it to your list again and send it again and send it this morning and create a cool headline. Go if you're in the Traffic Academy, go through that course. Go through the course and you can create like a cool headline. You know what I mean? Like, hey, are you tired of the football games, or doesn't it suck that the Niners lost again? I mean, you can get clever and have some fun with it. And then just send the invitation to people to watch the replay. And you can customize it, right? You can make sure that you're saying, read the email so you're not inviting somebody to a webinar that happened yesterday. Because if you send it tomorrow, the webinar didn't happen yesterday. The webinar happened Thursday. So just pay a close attention and make sure that you have your customized links in there, and go and continue to invite. People who are doing this are feeling some momentum. It's beginning to happen. Okay, also there's support. Okay, we've added 2 people in the support desk. Want you guys to be aware of that. So make sure that you're sending in a support ticket, and be patient. Be patient, because support is being caught up, but it's still going to be a little bit, maybe a 24, 48-hour turnaround. Maybe Doug can speak to that in a moment when he gets here, when I bring Doug out. But, support is there. We also have frequently asked questions, and the reason we have those frequently asked questions is because those are the frequently asked questions. So before you send in your support ticket, go through the FAQ page. How about this? Well, here's what we have found, is that when you go through the videos, okay, if you're brand spanking new, welcome. We've had hundreds of people join us this week. Thousands of people are still joining us every single month. Welcome. Make sure you take the time to go through all the video content. In the video content, it's ridiculous that there is so much stuff in there now. It's absolutely ridiculous how much value there is as a reseller for $20. Are you kidding me? For real? And then, of course, this week, and I'm talking a moment about the premium upgrade that was added this week that gives you some very, very specific laser-targeted marketing tools for this business only, provided by Vincent Ortega Jr. People are having epic results with the Twitter thing, okay? So my point is, go through all the videos. Go through all the videos. Make sure that you become truly a student of their Traffic Authority business. Go through all the videos, and we have found that when people go through the videos, the questions are gone. Because if they pay attention, then they learn. And we get people who come out on the radio show and they ask a question, and we say, well, did you watch the videos? And they say no. Say, well, then go watch the videos. You go watch. The reason that is put together so well is so that anybody who gets started in Traffic Authority, no matter where they are, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter where they are in the world, they have everything they require to come out of the gate fast. We have that quick start, fast start training in there. That was the training, that fast start training, that's what we used to put 50,000 people into our Traffic Authority pre-launch in 30 days. And here's something really, really cool, right? This morning on Facebook this morning, somebody private messaged me and said, you know what, I saw the webinar on Thursday night, and thank you for the webinar on Thursday night. I got started back in pre-launch, but I never activated my membership. What should I do next? That's what that person said. They said that their computer froze up. They had a technology problem, or they would buy now. I don't know who sent them the email, but somebody sent them the email. And what we do is we send them back, right? I answered to that guy, said, go back to the person who invited you, look back into your email, because we honor those lines of genealogy more than anything else. We honor the fact that you or somebody is spending time and resources and money to go out there and drive traffic and invite people, and you deserve the credit. You deserve the sale. Just make sure you're following up with your people, right? This is where a simple email, hey, man, did you see the video on Thursday? Did you see the webinar? You got any questions? Here's my phone number. Hit me up with a text, bro. Something. I mean, there's so many things that you can do, and it's kind of like incremental, right? Just improve a little bit at a time. Now I'm going to stand by, Doug, for one more second, because I do want to tell you guys about Radio Leverage Live, which is our calendar. Just put it on your toolbar, okay? I forgot about this, right? I forgot that this is there. RadioLeverageLive.com. It has every single show we do, the founders calls, the webinars, the trainings. It's all there. The schedule is right there to remind you. And if you take a look, you can pop them open. There's contact information, links. Where do you go get the links? It's very, very well done. I think it's rudimentary. It's not well done. It's just basic. But be aware of it and take advantage of it, okay? And you can send people invites, right? If you go and look at the calendar, you can pop open an event, and you can send somebody an email that reminds them that there's a radio show coming up. Are you guys, for example, sending an email to your personal list every Friday morning, reminding them that there is a radio show on Friday mornings? Are you doing that every Friday morning? Because that's where we get the goods. Are you doing that? Are you sending to your list other things besides what we're sending to you to send, swipe files and stuff, right? The whole business of duplication is where this gets really silly. If you look at Vincent Ortega, I was working with him on Thursday looking at the leaderboard today. I think he's at well over $200,000, right? $200,000 in earnings since we opened up the doors, which is just a little more than a month ago. And I think he said on one of the webinars that he has personally enrolled about 300 people. And as a result of those 300 people, he's got $200,000 in earnings. How does that happen? How does that happen? It happens because of duplication. It happens because Vincent's people are following the lead and they are sending to their list, and those people are sending to their list. And before you know it, it's just like a mushroom cloud. It's like a snowball going downhill. So send to your list with consistency simple things like radio leverage. Here's a schedule. Check out this radio show, and you can put a link. Check out this thing from Friday morning. Listen 60 minutes in, you're going to hear this woman in New York City talk about there are so many opportunities here for each and every one of us to continue to grow and gain momentum. It is silly, as my brother would say. It is silly. All right. Enough of me. Doug, what are you thinking, bro?
Oh, man. I am actually thinking about all the fun things that are going on all around this community, and every community that I have ever been involved with indirectly and then directly, and what we've been able to manifest here. We're constantly getting the kudos and the high fives and the videos and testimonials and Facebook things. People have never seen anything like Traffic Authority ever in their lives. Okay. And it's the one thing that we all agreed on when we first sat down and said, what do we want to do? What do we want to bring to the world? What do we want to be able to allow people to do? And, we all popped up and said, hey, give people the ability to create marketable skills. They can go anywhere on the planet, go into any opportunity, do anything they really choose to do, and be able to create and generate an income for themselves, right? And we're seeing that. We're actually seeing that happen right here, okay, in baby steps and in big, giant leaps, right? Hurdles over mountains like, oh, my gosh, it's absolutely incredible. And so yesterday I had the great opportunity to have lunch with Devon Brown. And it's because Devon lives in my hometown here. We get together from time to time, and I think this was actually the first time we've seen each other since the full launch here, man. It was just incredible. But Devon's business is growing. He's going to be coming in here, Joe, and just building an incredible training program here that it'll be fun to add into the academy. And, Joe, you and I have spent a couple of days this week here talking about the academy and working with some people. And what's coming up right there is going to be neat. Over the next, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, the trainers and the different areas and aspects of training that's going to, get injected into the academy, from YouTube and Instagram to Facebook and monetization strategies, and more on Darren and the email strategies that he's brought to the table already. So I'm excited. I really am. It's a lot of fun. And then, Joe, we we had joy in a conversation yesterday, and boy, that was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. Days are running together here, man. But that was fun. Where we're going to be going in 2016, right? Because you and I, we've been involved in other direct sales companies where the sole focus was events, right? Conferences and events, and what we can do with that. And when we all get together and we're sitting around in various rooms and hallways and different events and round tables and strategizing, or at the pool, the beach, the ski slopes, or whatever. And we're going, oh my gosh, that's Carlos Rodriguez, and he's got Carly in his hands, and there's Dave, over there, and Tara, and all these names that we constantly hear in voices. And then when you can finally put faces to it and really make those deep connections, Joe, I'm sure if you look back in your Rolodex, like I do often here, I've got friends from this industry that I've palled around with now for the last 25 years, okay? Mm-hmm. People that I met in the very first opportunity I was ever involved in 25 plus years ago, we are still friends today, Mm-hmm. And that's cool, right? That is really cool. And it's a testament to what can happen, when like-minded people get together and they begin to share like-minded thoughts. And like you said yesterday, when that why, right, when that why is really put out there into the universe, when you really get crystal clear with why you are doing what you're doing, right, and some days it may seem like it's never going to happen, right, and other days there's moments and spurts of, just adrenaline rushing, pumping excitement, It all comes together, but you got to keep that why so close to the chest, so close to the vest, and just focus on it every single day to keep you going. That's why you'll hear people say, hey, get yourself a big poster board and make it a dream board, Go out shopping for the car and the furs and the watches or houses or boats or jet skis or whatever you want, okay, to do with this money. Why are you doing what you are doing? You got to put it out there, and you got to get crystal clear, and you got to feel it, and you got to be able to touch it and taste it and smell it and all that good stuff in order to hold on to that vision of what's going to happen at the end of all this, okay? Because that's really what it's about, man. But most importantly, we're home with our friends and our families all day long, and boy, that's fun too, man. So, hey, dude, what a ride, man.
I know, and I got a couple things I want to comment, and I see that Mr. Chambers is here. I'm going to bring you out in a second, Greg. One of the things that you mentioned, though, is who we meet in the industry, right? And there's a first time. There's a first time that you go to an event. There's a first email that you send. There's the first prospecting call that you make, right? There's that you have to take that step, and it's so cool when you do it, because you will find, because you're like my friend, Doug, and we met each other in the industry. You're like somebody I consider a friend. Thousands of people on Facebook and thousands of people in my world, and very few actually can I count on and consider a friend. And I met Greg Chambers like 20 years ago. I meet this guy, Greg Chambers. In over 20 years, we have stayed in touch on and off, looking at companies, talking about the industry, bumped into him in the parking lot of the bank one time. Hey, Greg, how you doing? And then, as you know, Greg contacted me last December. And dude, it's the 1-year anniversary, actually. Wasn't it in October 19th or something? Was the date that
the date? This Friday. This coming Friday, the 23rd, is actually the original launch date of IL. Yeah,
the beta launch. We were in beta launch for a long time, right? And I remember I just heard again yesterday, we were talking about this, that the team that has been assembled here, right? It was Doug, it was Greg, it was Chad. And then I showed up and I just was kind of like hanging around and doing the radio show. And then at the same time, you had this other group with Adam and Ben and Matt that were already at the table. So this has been like a year, right? So Greg hit me up last December out of the clear blue sky. My old friend Greg Chambers, how's it going, man? And now here we are, working together in a championship team. And we, as Steve Jobs would say, we are putting a dent in the universe, man, what's going on here with Traffic Authority. We have solid leadership. We have unbelievable products. We've got products that are like everybody wants, needs, and it's a consumable, right? Once the click is clicked, you got to get more clicks. And then, you also mentioned the Academy. And the Traffic Academy, we do have the email guy in there right now, and we're looking at putting a LinkedIn. I talked to the LinkedIn expert yesterday. And what he told me is that LinkedIn, just like Google did years ago, made a major change. Like Facebook always makes, LinkedIn made a major change in their algorithms and the things that they do because there were too many people, network marketers, and you know how they get, right? There's too much stuff going on, people getting pounded by stuff that they don't really are not interested in. So our LinkedIn expert said, you know what? LinkedIn just came out with some new stuff. So I just rewrote my book so that we're working. I mean, this is really contemporary stuff. We're moving along. But personal development, if you're really going to grow professionally, you have to grow personally. If you're going to grow financially, you have to grow personally. I remember years ago, if you can believe this, I was actually once an insurance man. I had a real estate license, right? And years and years ago. And I remember the premium that was placed on personal development. The movie The Secret revolutionized direct selling and network marketing. That was personal development, the law of attraction. And we hammer this stuff home every single day. But included in that academy, moving forward, I'm already in touch with some killer personal development guys who are right on board with what we do here in direct selling. They know what we go through. They know the challenges. So it's so exciting what's going on. But let me get to, speaking of friends, Mr. Greg Chambers. Dude, we've been missing you. The group coming together every morning is like missing the Gigi. Dude, how are you today? What's going on?
Hey, dude, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really resonating with what you guys are saying today. And, kind of just want to share with the team, some of the stuff that I'm going through personally, really goes right to this business. Let's face it. I mean, everyone in Craft Authority is relatively new. I mean, the great majority of members are here within the last, few weeks, few months. And, I just want to talk a little bit today about managing change. The one thing that, all of us as adults and business owners, we know is that the future is going to bring change. And with that, bring huge opportunity. And, let's really show what I guess, is so important here with this community because we literally have, the ability to take people that are looking to change their lives, they're looking to become business owners, they're looking to make, a serious step up in income. We've got, really the ability to help people to manage that change. It really helps to alleviate some of that fear and it helps to, deal with that anxiety. Let's face it, I mean, change is not easy. And but it is when we change that we grow. And, being open to, to new things and, being open to those changes is really, to me, what's making critical. And, just recently here in the last few weeks, I've gone through a major personal change. I lived in Phoenix for over 20 years, and I, permanently moved to Tallahassee. It's it is a, it's a massive change. I mean, go from a desert climate to a much greener, much more, almost forest-like area. And, again, it's just, it's interesting how, these things, the change that. And I guess what I really want to talk about is being open to that change and really, making sure that you're doing the right things every day, that change moves in a positive direction. And, I will tell you guys right now, I'm going through a routine change. I've only been here 8 days, and, I'm having a little bit of a hard time transitioning between Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time. It's just throwing my day off. I'm having a hard time getting to the gym. I'm having a hard time, having regular work hours. So I just want to associate that to people here, as you guys, are starting something new, make sure, that you're plugging into, like, the daily marketing stuff. I mean, those kind of things, as you're coming in, you're looking to make those changes, by plugging in, you're going to, make that change so much easier for yourself. But more than that, you're going to make it productive. This is what I guess I vowed to myself this weekend, is I'm actually, writing out a schedule for myself and putting down some goals. Again, anyone who's listened to us on the call before, we're big people about talking about personal development and talking about goals. And, you really have to, you have to understand when you're making positive change. You have to also understand when it's not positive, because part of the process, and I'll be completely honest, I mean, I feel like I've fallen down a little bit. I was into a very, very solid routine. I was, getting people motivated about being part of a 90-day challenge. It was really talking about working out every day and things like that. Unfortunately, I did fall off that, but I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not going to stay off. I'm going to get right back on that. You guys are going to be hearing me talk on the calls, getting back on that kind of challenge, and the same kind of challenge for your work where you're coming in and moving forward. But I guess my point being, don't be afraid to fall down. Anyone who thinks that they're going to go from 0 to hero without a few bruised knees, you're kidding yourself. This is a real business. It's real work. It's going to take development of yourself personally, and it's going to take a lot of productive action to move yourself from the very beginning to where you want to go. The point is, having a plan in that is just mission critical. Don't allow yourself to become overwhelmed in the moment. This week, I was chatting with one of my friends on Facebook to say, man, I am feeling overwhelmed for the first time in probably a decade. And, again, for many of the reasons I just talked about, but I guess all I'm saying is associate with people that are brand new here also feeling overwhelmed, because there's a great deal of training information. There's a lot of information in this community, So my point is, one of my good friends, Doug Williams, says, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time, and it's the same here. The way that you manage change, the way you become productive is, have a plan and execute that plan. I mean, it really is that simple. And you guys are certainly going to hear about, kind of me and as I'm progressing here over the next few weeks and few months, because, again, I'm right here with you guys. I understand, what you're going through with these massive changes. All I can say is, on the cost authority side, the changes are just exceptionally positive. I mean, you guys are seeing all the new stuff that's come out. It just is a very, very exciting time. I can tell you guys, I'm the one that manages the traffic side of things. You guys are going to be seeing some huge traffic coming through this week and in the next few weeks. I mean, so it is a very, very exciting time to be here, being here at the very beginning. But just be aware that there is change and that change has to be managed. So with that, Joe, my friend, back to you.
Well, first off, yes, I am your friend. I am your friend. And I want you to know that I had a chuckle a couple days ago. It wasn't at your expense, but you said something to me, I think it was on Skype, and I actually chuckled. And you said, man, I had to do my own laundry yesterday. And I was like, I know, man, how about it, right? It was for 3 years. For 3 years I've been doing my own laundry. It's I got to do laundry now. How about loading the dishwasher, right? Cooking your food when you actually have that massive change in life. But listen, Greg, this is what I'm talking about when I say that people should come to the Traffic Authority Visionary Founders Hour. I just got to honor the fact that you're so transparent this morning. You were the leader of the 90-day challenge. You're a beast, dude. You're a beast in the gym and pumping iron and very, very strategic. And today is legs, and today I'm working on upper body. And, you're just a beast. And when it comes to even your Traffic Authority business, you're a co-founder here, dude. You guys, you came up with the idea of CPC Broker, which was actually the beginning of all this. And that was years ago, But, it's so interesting for me, and this is why I want people to come here, because it's way more than just clicks. Okay, it's way more than just clicks. Sometimes people come and they see it, it's oh, I'm going to buy clicks, I'm going to sell clicks, and everyone wants clicks, and I'm going to make all this money. And that can happen. But it's really about, who are these people? Who are these leaders? Are you willing to follow Greg Chambers and Doug Wellens and Chad into battle? You know what I mean? Are you willing to follow these guys and say, okay, we've got an idea here. No one's ever done anything like Traffic Authority ever. It's never been done with this level of transparency, this minimal cost. It's never been done. And so are we willing to follow? So I always say, well, who are these guys? Who are these individuals who are leading the charge, the highest levels of leadership? And so I got to honor you, Greg, because you're so transparent about this stuff, dude, about coming out here, because I know that all of us have gone through separation and loss, and then to hear you, one of our leaders, coming clean and saying, yeah, man, I've been struggling. That empowers me, because, and I know that many others, it empowers them as well, to hear that even the beast, even the general, is out there saying, yeah, man, life can be a challenge, but you know what? I'm getting back in. That's what you said. I'm getting back on. I'm getting back into my routine. You said, I am making a list so I can systematically reprogram myself. 20 years in Phoenix, bro. And now, and it's dry as a bone. The dry heat, it's true. And it's Pacific Standard Time. And now all of a sudden you're in Tally, where it's, I've heard that the squirrels are as big as mountain lions and the mosquitoes are thick, right? And so I got to honor you, dude. I really, really do. And Valley Luna will never be the same. I'm going to have a margarita for you today, okay, at Valley Luna. But, all right, listen, one more thing I got to ask you, though. You said that you said people are going to be seeing big traffic. And I know that I know that you're the traffic acquisition manager, and I know you got a couple guys that you work with. And people have been saying this last week. Oh man, my traffic is slowing down. My traffic is really just kind of trickling through. And so, what are you predicting as far as traffic flow, say in the next week, 10 days? What are you seeing, dude?
Yeah, we're going to see, an avalanche is the best way to put it, and basically it is our 100% effort. It is true, like I was out on the Radio Labor Show this week talking about how we had a server change. We were, enhancing capacity, happened to be like the day that I started traveling, and, it's kind of one of the perfect storms. But nonetheless, those issues are going to happen. Traffic does ebb and flow. I'm going to say this week and the weeks going forward, the flow rate is going to increase on an exponential level. So we're going to see people starting to set their daily limits a great deal more and things along those lines, because the traffic is really coming through, and it's going to speed up all the way, here through next week. So people, if you do see, orders going slowly, you're going to see them picking up. If you're seeing, pending links, you're going to see all of those things opened up this weekend. And, again, Joe, next week it's going to be flowing and, really much, much faster. So we're excited about that. And it's all happening, literally starting, even today, but going next week, much, much more of it.
And let me ask you this. You said about limiting the traffic, like everybody has an opportunity to actually gauge how much traffic they move on a daily basis. Would you recommend that people pay attention to that? Because, all of a sudden it's going to gush, right? They may be sitting there, and maybe people should be aware so they can monitor their traffic and manage it effectively, because is it possible that somebody can see like 500 clicks in a day? Like that kind of, is it possible that something like that might happen?
I mean, if you have a huge order, Joe, like a diamond, that would be possible. But for the typical order, that's not going to be the case, because there literally are more than 1,000 orders running at one time. But again, what they are going to see is, things that were moving relatively slow are going to be picking up. And just to touch on, the using, the tools inside the back office, actually using the daily, cache parameters, it really is a good idea. That gives people an ability, to see what's happening in conversion. It gives them the opportunity to, test different landing pages, test different, sales paths. And of course, we're very, very excited because we just brought on the premium product, and with the Vince sales path. And I just got to tell you guys, I mean, we've been testing and we're continuing to test, and man, that the results there are looking really, really impressive. And so obviously want to encourage anyone who's running traffic to consider that. But to run traffic through all three, and the best way to do that, is to, simply keep results and, then send the ones, that work best for you. And Joe, just for the record, it's not always the same. Some people think that, one path is always going to be the best forever. And, what you're going to find is, because so much of the back end of it's important, and by that I mean when, a lead comes in, you have the ability to communicate with them through, of course, your autoresponders, but you're also sending personal broadcasts like we've learned, in our Traffic Academy lesson here this last month, and that daily communication, that communication you do with your list, they're going to resonate better depending, on which path that it came through and how you personally write messages. There is a component that is, individual here. So, that part's really, really important to understand. And so I don't want people to think that, if I don't have that, it's not going to happen for me. Not the case at all. I mean, some people get the very best results from, the Facebook, Google recording you did, Joe. I mean, others get the best results off the David Scott II, the one, which was before. So I want people to know that they're all happening. But we are doing testing on Vince's, and it does look really good. So I just wanted to make a comment on that as well.
And thank you. And there's also that bridge opportunity, right? People have the opportunity to shoot their own video, shoot your own video, and that is a bridge video that goes into the funnel, right? So, somebody opts in, and it will be you. It's like, hey, it's me, Joe. I'm living in Carefree, or it's me. I'm Greg. I'm over here in Tally, and what a journey it was, and I'm so excited for you. You can actually personalize the opportunity using that tool, which is that bridge video, which is so freaking cool. And that's part of your $20 reseller license. The value is just off the hook. And, you mentioned this premium program. And, Doug, I want to get you back out here to talk about some of these giveaways and some of the things that we're going to be doing. But, you mentioned the premium program, and there is a big buzz. I've heard the buzz on Facebook. I'm getting private messages. If you guys are wondering what that premium program is, you can go into your back office, and you'll see an opportunity there for you to upgrade. Premium is $50 a month, okay? That's what it is. That's what it is. But every single dollar that's generated by those premium memberships goes back into the field in the form of these prizes. We're giving away $20,000 worth of stuff over the next 2 weeks. And what I'm seeing here, based on the results, I'm thinking that at some point we're going to be giving away cars and Harley Davidsons and vacations, because people are so excited. The revenue pool is growing, and people are just like, it's happening, right? And so that $50 upgrade, I want you guys to consider that, right? I want you to consider it because there's specific training in there. And right now we're featuring Vincent Ortega. We just heard a moment ago, Doug said he had lunch with Devon Brown. Many of you know who Devon Brown is. The guy's killer, epic. And we're going to be featuring some of his customized stuff. And there are others, right? And there are others right now. The Traffic Control Board is going to be introduced within the next week or so on one of these calls. And there are other people who have really, 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 really good stuff, and they're willing to bring that to the table. Yesterday morning, I don't know who it was. Please forgive me for not remembering your name. But someone talked about the fact that they have been in direct selling and network marketing for a long time, a professional. And they said this was the very first time that the top income earners, the leaders, were transparent in sharing the whole thing. Usually they're competing with each other, right? Everyone's in competition, even within the same companies. It's like, oh, my group is better than that group. And, oh, no wonder my business sucks because I don't get the Vincent Ortega magic, right? But now everyone has access to that. And so that premium program, and the other thing I just want to throw out here, and this came up yesterday on the radio show. Many people were commenting and saying, you know what? So what you're saying to me, Joe, is that my business, my traffic authority business, is really about $200 a month, and that's before I get traffic. And I'm like, yeah. Is there a better value? Is where can you get this much value? And I had this conversation with Vincent Ortega on Wednesday night's webinar, on Thursday night's prospecting webinar. I put it out there on the webinar. I said, hey man, if anybody in the world can show me a program, a product that has this much value, this much transparency, always pay on time, you know what I mean? If you show it to me, I'm in. Sign me up. And then Vince came out and he said, and this is a guy who he makes $100,000 a month. That's $1.2 million a year. He came out on our webinar and said, you know what? I like that challenge, so I'm going to sign up. He's with me on this, right? If you could find something in the world with this much value and this much upside for under $200 a month, sign me up. And I want you to consider, if you break that down, really, ladies and gentlemen, it's like a $50 a week commitment to have a business that is a multi-million-dollar machine working for you. We'll talk more about this throughout the course of the week, but, for those of you who are experiencing some financial tyranny, some struggle, okay, it is a stretch, it is tough. You know what, man? It's not going to get easier unless you do something different. It's your best thinking, it's your best action that put you in a position that you're struggling to get $200 in play every month. People actually still smoke cigarettes, right? And I think it's like $7 or $8. I mean, I know there are people right now who are going, hey, I can't afford that $50, but yeah, give me my lighter, burning through $8 a day on cigarettes. I mean, really, you know who I'm talking about. You know if it's you, or whatever you're doing with your money. Just take a look at what this opportunity really is, and take a look at the heartbeat. Right? You got Greg Chambers here, who's revealing his honest truth. It just is amazing. It is really amazing. So that premium membership, yes. I heard yesterday the results are off the chart. The Twitter thing, right? Somebody yesterday on Facebook said I picked up 140 leads using Twitter, and I got that because I went to the training module in the premium package. All right, we're down to our last 15 minutes. Mr. Wellens, let me get you back out here, dude.
Hey.
So what are you thinking? I know that we had a meeting yesterday. We're talking about the giveaways. We've been talking about events. We're going really big with events. We do have a event planner right now researching cities, and because we're going to do things that are like, I call them wow. It's like it's going to be like, wow, man, was that worth it, right? So how are you feeling about things, right? Here's your bro, right? This is your boy. You've been partners for years, with Mr. Chambers. What are you seeing in this? Because there's some personal development stuff or what, man?
Oh, dude, man. I mean, seriously, Greg, dude, heavy stuff, man. I mean, but kudos to you, but I mean, seriously, because the truth is that until you face reality, right, whatever your reality is in life, until you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, and you come crystal clear with your reality, you can't fix anything else, man, okay? You really can't, because it's like a mirage, right? But look at Greg, man. He's out here in front of thousands of people will hear this, okay? Thousands of people will hear Greg becoming very clear with his reality and what's going on. So, dude, we're all here to support you, man. You know that. I can't wait to come down to Tallahassee here in a few weeks. I'm coming. Just mark my
words.
What's
it like? I got to ask you guys. I was going to ask Greg, what is it like in Tallahassee, man? I mean, because we work remotely, right? One time, Doug, wasn't our team up to like 28 or 29 people when you talk about, there's guys in Argentina and guys in Nepal, all these brilliant technology guys, right? But then there's Tallahassee. What's it like in there, man? It's like actual human beings coming to the same location every day going to work. Is there a water cooler? Is there a break room? Let me see something here, man. Maybe you, Greg. What's it like? And Greg, how about you, right? Working from home for 20
awesome,
years.
Man. I got to tell you, Joe, I've worked in a home office for over 20 years. I mean, so I mean, really, I know exactly what you mean by working remotely. It's so true. And actually coming in here where, Chad and Carl and Jason and Ashley and I, and of course other, vendors come in here as well. I mean, it is really nice. I mean, it's nice to have a meeting and actually walk into a conference room and you look across the table and you see someone. And not just that, though. There's also the feeling that this is the pulse of Traffic Authority. There's no question. I mean, Chad obviously instrumental, in the creation of the programming and, the entire architecture of this. And, to be able to walk next door and say, hey, we need to look at this, it is a very, very different thing than getting on the phone or, sending a text message. So, Joe, it's awesome. I'm telling you, Joe, as you know, I've already fixed you. And Joy, I'm moving down here, so I hope you guys will join us. It would be awesome to have you guys right here in Napa with us.
And we're talking about it, right? We're seriously talking about, okay, it's time for a move. I've been in the Valley of the Sun for 13 years. And I'm going like, but if I go to Tallahassee, then I'm going to go to an office every day. I'm like, I love working. But then again, if I go to an office every day, then maybe I won't be sitting in my underwear at 5:30 in the morning on my computer, right? I get to go home. I get to go home from work, right? I mean, when you work from home, the biggest problem when you work from home is you never get to go home from work. The computer's always sitting there. I get up in the middle of the night. I got an idea. I got to get to work, right? But for real, man, for real, I am considering it. What do you think, Douglas? What do you think about the Tally move, dude?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I think the greatest problem that we can have right now is outgrowing our office 6 months into our lease over there, right? I mean, you go there, I'm going to be forced to go there, okay? But, we've got these really cool digs down there, okay? Some sort of state senator used to occupy the office we're in, so it's all beautiful hardwood floor, crown molding, beautiful desks and, appointments and all that stuff.
Nice.
And, it is very nice, okay? And Tallahassee is a beautiful community. They've got a great football team, as you all know. It's the capital of Florida. And we're just happy to be there. And, more importantly, Joe, I hate to get political, but the truth is that one of the really neat things about, creating this opportunity is also, of course, empowering everybody on the planet who wants to be a member. But let's face it, there's also the behind-the-scenes stuff. and we are creating jobs for people. Okay,
cool,
and that's cool too, right? Because there are people that want a job, right? They need a job, they want a job, whatever the case is. You just mentioned early in the call, the support folks that we just recently brought on, and Jody and Carmen, they're in the chairs come Monday, and it's really exciting. We've been doing some training with Carmen this week. Jody's coming back from her planned event that she had to go to. And, I couldn't be any happier right now, man, with regard to that. Believe it or not, the support tickets, we were down so low on the support tickets because we've digested like 6 people over here in support, so you'll all be happy to know that it's cranking fast. Even though you may, like Joe said, 24, 48 hours, whatever the case is, it is going to get to a point where you're going to put a ticket in and you're going to get a response the exact same day, maybe the exact same hour that you put that ticket in. That's what we want to get to, right? And as you all know, too, we just went through this big rebilling process for the very first time here, right? And so that caused a little bit of spur in the backlog of tickets once again, but we'll knock those out. We'll get to the point where we're back on track here, and we're focused to make it as Chad used to say, let's give everybody the Disney World experience, right, in support. And that's really what we want to provide to you guys. So we're happy to do it, that's for sure.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much for that. That's awesome, and I know that support is, we've always said this, and I've actually was once I was really reprimanded. I mean, I was reamed silly by Greg Chambers because I was on my high horse because I was so aggravated because I wanted support to move faster, right? I was like, a world-class company has to have world-class support. And we are in the communication business, right? And I remember going mental at one point, like, oh, this is driving me crazy. But I had to be reminded. It's like, dude, we're just getting started. Simmer down, Joe. We're just getting rolling here, right? A year from now, 3 months from now, even 30 days from now, these days will be gone forever. The rebilling thing that you just talked about, man. We had a huge launch, and then we have to rebuild, and we've got some things, and we held off because we didn't want to charge people for an academy that wasn't fun. I mean, so much thought went into that whole piece regarding the user effect and the impact it has on individuals. It's like, it's not about the money, man. It's about the user experience, about what we're doing here. And listen, we've only got 7 more minutes here. I promised we'd get this thing done in less than an hour this morning. Listen, I want to thank you, Doug. Greg, you guys want to come out and say adios and tell everybody to have a good weekend, and I'll put a bow on this thing.
Yeah. Joe, we didn't even really talk about the contest, and I just want just a blatant sales pitch to everybody.
Please.
Get busy with testimonials, if nothing else. I mean, you can create a testimonial and get yourself like 20 points today, right? Just create a ticket, send your testimonial link on YouTube or Dropbox link. Just send it to support, create a ticket, just say, hey, this is my testimonial. Get it to Doug. Boom. It'll be right to me. We've had some great testimonials already come in this week, and that's points to your business. And more importantly, you're helping the tribe and everybody else grow. So that's really all I wanted to say with regard to that. Greg Chambers, you put the bow on it today, buddy. You put a wrap on it, man.
All I'm going to say, you guys, is that I'm thrilled to be here and be a part of this thriving community. It's certainly a point of light in my life, and looking really forward to everyone taking this to the next level. I mean, like you just said, we're getting started, and we know most of you are getting started. I mean, take advantage of content. It's a great way to be productive, and make sure you're on Radio Leverage here all week long. And with that, back to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Greg Chambers. I want to thank you, Doug Wellens. You guys are awesome, great leaders here, founders. I want to thank the thousands of people who joined us this morning from all across the world to get to know Greg and Doug a little bit more. We'll be back on Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go into your member back office. Log your points, man. You get 3 for being here today, 20 points for posting a video. Send those videos in and come back on Monday. It's training wheels time, right? You come back on Monday, and we're going to walk you through and tell you exactly what you should do today and every single day. We hear from people. We hear from members. We hear from founders. We want to hear from you. The floor is open every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for you to come, share your enthusiasm, ask a question, and our Facebook page is the place to be. If all of you guys would go today and post on Facebook, make a Facebook post about this Visionary Founders Call, telling people to go listen, you get points for that, man. Right? You get points for doing the thing that will bring you the result, so just do it. It's been a great week. Looking forward to Monday morning. We'll be working through the weekend. Got some really new cool things that are going to be coming up you'll be seeing next week. Thanks for being here, everybody, and go ahead and send that swipe file again. Reinvite them to the webinar. Adios.